Hello, Sibling Rivalry listeners. This is a reminder that your favorite siblings, me and Bob the Drag Queen, we are coming to San Diego at the Balboa Theater, darling, on August 8th. Now, I know this date had to be rescheduled in the past because of, things like Madonna and some other personal life things. But August 8th is the tea. It's definitely happening. And Bob and I are excited to bring you Sibling Rivalry Live, the podcast, to San Diego on August 8th. So if you don't have your tickets, go to monetexchange.com or seethedragqueen.com and you can see where you can find us. You know what? If all else fails, Google San Diego Sibling Rivalry. Trust me, it's going to pop up. We can't wait to see y'all live. It's going to be everything. Bye.
What are you saying, Nick?
Nick, you were saying
Matteo and I were playing, those Jackbox TV games?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love those.
Remember that one Thanksgiving that we were all at yours, Bob, and we were playing them, and it said, fill out the acronym MEM, and I wrote, Monet eats everything.
So what happened was, there was this running bit about Monet.
Fat shaming. I heard it.
Pie.
Fat shaming. All these motherfuckers, they were indulging in fat shaming me. Continue.
No, that's not what happened.
That's not. You were like, that's a running
Yes, they
joke.
were. I'm on Monet's side. They
Yes.
were.
Bob,
Monet
you
on
were-
my
it was
side.
It was
Bob
tied
like, there was
to
this running
Patty's
joke
pie.
that Monet's fat ass would eat everything she came in contact with.
First of all, we have documented footage of Money fat shaming me tons, so I don't give a fuck, bitch. Fat shame you down because you did it to me. So if you can fat shame me, I can fat shame you, bitch. Yeah. If you can fat shame me, I can fat shame you, bitch.
For all you little woke warrior bobbleheads, this is y'all leader. This is how he
I
talks
have
about
never.
me.
I'm telling folks, man, I have never claimed to be civil. I've never claimed to be kind. I've never claimed to be benevolent. I don't know where
But
this
Bob,
notion of me being
Nick
came out.
Nick has claimed to be civil, so everyone go after Nick.
I am. I'm an
I have
angel.
told y'all this whole time I'm not civil. And when Monet's done fat shaming me, I'll be done fat shaming her. But let's get back to the point at hand here. So what happened was Patty made this. Well, you do fat shame me. I mean, now you're gonna act like you don't. You do fat shame me.
When?
You do.
You
I've heard
fat
it.
shame
I
me.
have never fat shamed you.
I've
You
heard
have
it.
footage of you being like,
literally,
well, one of us
I've
is
been in the
larger
room
than
and
the
you-
other one. And then you
see
try to
that-
gaslight me into believing that it's not fat shaming.
I
Monet,
think
you're not
that's you,
slick,
babe.
and
I
you
think
fat
that's you,
shame. It's
babe.
part of you who you
You
are.
have.
Okay.
You have. I've been there. You've been like, hey, Bob, you fat ass bitch.
We have footage
I've
of
heard
this
it.
podcast.
Literally,
I've heard it.
those words
First
have
of all-
literally never came out of my mouth. Go ahead.
Heard
First
him.
of all,
I heard him.
Matteo.
I feel so bad for Jacob who has to edit this. And secondly, if our podcasts are each other, I'm clearly Monet, and Bob is clearly Nick.
Yes, a
So you
tyrant.
fat shame Nick
And a-
first?
Yes, I do.
Mateo fat shames me every episode.
That's not the point. We need to tell the story. So what happened was Patrick bought a pie, but it was a Hershey bar.
It was a pie competition. Now keep that in mind, and I want you to remind everyone who won.
And Patrick bought a Hershey, like 4 or 5 Hershey bars that he melted into a pie crust. It was literally just Hershey bars. No shame. He's like, it's a Hershey pie, and we were all like, we're not saying it's not pie. We're just saying it's not good. Like none of us are claiming it's not pie, Patrick. We're just saying it's not good and we don't want it. Is what we're saying. But then I think Monet had some or whatever. So anyway, somehow during Quiplash, it just became someone once said Monet eats everything, and then at the end, no, here it was. Everyone kept saying Monet eats everything.
Yes,
but at the
everyone
very
was
end-
fat shaming me except for Matteo. Correct.
But at the very end, it was MEM, and then Nick wrote Monet eats everything.
Fat shaming, y'all. This is why I have a complex. This is why I've gone through so many.
Well, then Monet, stop fat shaming, bitch. Stop acting like you don't do it. That's what's so annoying. You keep acting like you don't fat shame.
I've never fat
Do
shamed
what?
you. I've never fat shamed you.
Oh my God.
I'm so happy to pull up the footage. I'm so happy to pull up the evidence right now.
Anyway, we'll get there.
I'm so happy to pull up the evidence. I'm so glad you said that.
But you know
No,
what, Bob? I'm
go
sorry.
to
Bob is so rude. I'm going to introduce our 2 lovely guys just in case
Go to the
people are
episode
tuning
from
in
San Francisco.
and they
already know who they are.
don't know who they. So, just in case someone is listening to the Patreon right now, and I have no idea. Please welcome our lovely, delightful, one delightful friend. The other one is something. We have Matteo Lane and Nick
Who's who?
Smith on the podcast. You know what? I'll let them decide.
They know who.
Yeah, see how Monet tried to stop me before I found her evidence. Monet was like, "Oh, let's switch the subject. Let's go to maybe we should
You
switch
mean
into."
conduct the podcast and introduce our guest? Yes, you're right. I'm going to derail the podcast to do that, Bob. Yes.
Yeah, you did. I also want to point out that y'all, we are. I got my laptop got wet. Like
You turned it on.
My laptop is so I had to get a new laptop. I went to the Apple store and I was like, what is the least expensive one you have? Which actually ended up working out because he told me in Australian dollars and I was like, ugh. And then in USD I was like, oh.
Can I tell y'all, every time Bob is on location, Bob has some type of technicals. Either Madonna lost his luggage, his laptop fell in the ocean. There's Jacob, am I lying? Am I telling the truth? Ain't Bob always has something going on? Bob always.
What other things have I had?
There's always something, girl.
Can you name one?
Matteo is
Monet's like, Bob didn't get his second meal from Delta.
Literally. That's what it be
like. Can you
like.
name one of my technical difficulties that I've had?
What do you on the Madonna tour? Allegedly, they lost your luggage. Allegedly, or they couldn't find your bag for whatever reason. So we had to do the episode with you under a desk using your iPhone for your speak. It was crazy.
The Madonna tour never lost my luggage.
Well, that's what you. Oh. So now the truth comes out.
I never said that. When did I say that?
It's not that they lost your luggage. It was like left on the tour bus or something. Like there was an issue with it. So it wasn't lost. You knew where it is, but I think it was like either locked up in the arena and you had to go get it. Because
the bus is sometimes locked in a garage, not a garage, but like a parking lot. You can't get into the parking lot.
And what I'm hearing is he's a professional and still made it work.
Thank you. Because Monet will push 18 hours.
Nick, whose side are you on?
The right side of history.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Also, the irony is that Bob is the one that pushed the podcast today. I logged it at 58 to the hour, and Jacob was like, "Hey, Bob needs 20 more minutes." I'm like, "Okay." So who needed more time today? Me or you?
So
right. Actually, when Jacob told me that Bob's laptop was broke, I was like, Bob is probably so pissed right now. Like the second you got water on it, whatever happened on the flight, I can just see Bob's face furious.
Well, I was like, I move into acceptance really quickly. I'm very quickly moving into a place of acceptance. I was like, you know what? I got to go.
First of all, we've all argued with you. You've never moved into acceptance.
Who is this person?
Quickly. I don't know who this is for.
I immediately went to the Apple store.
Just because you're lit by Jesus right now. Just because St. Peter is lighting you right now does not mean you've moved into acceptance,
Thank you
Bob.
for having
First of all,
Matteo
what happened to me was
today.
I found that my laptop was wet, and I immediately was like, well, I guess I got to go to the Apple store.
As
I didn't
all
fight.
four of your
What?
friends here, all four of your friends literally laughed at that statement because we are like,
Wet from what? That's what I want to know.
It was. I had something spilled on my backpack, and then my laptop.
Why do you have liquid that close to an electronic?
This was a backpack, like liquid.
When you work for the TSA, Nick?
Yeah. Who do you work for? What is this line of questioning?
Global entry.
Oh wait, Matteo, are these all the cards?
Oh, wait, freeze. Wait, something I want to say, by the way. I did push the podcast 20 minutes today. Now, I did not put Monet on blast last week, but let me tell you what happened to Monet the other day. I came back from a long...
our guests?
No. See, Monet loves trying to blast me, but now she don't want to be put on blast. After a long day of traveling, I went to a day trip back and forth to San Francisco, and then I was sitting at my little desk, waiting for Monet at 10 o'clock, where Monet and Patrick told us we could begin podcasting. And then I got a message from Monet that said, hey, I can't quite make it till 11. I said, okay, not a problem. So I sat in front of my desk even longer.
Okay,
and
then Monet said, the story's already askew. Because I had the text message. You were like, ugh, Monet, really? Girl, please, let me know as soon as you can. There's a whole
I said, ugh, Monet, really? I was sitting there waiting. Then Monet said, actually, I can't make it until 12:30.
Because why?
And I said, you know what?
Because why?
And I said, you know what, Monet?
Because why?
I can't wait that long.
Because why? Because the
why
airline,
do you think I waited line? Why do you think I waited extra today? You think I was just twiddling my thumbs? Some of us are working.
Anyway.
So Madonna's tour lost your bag too now, Monet? What's the real story?
Exactly.
What's the real story?
Yeah, can we have any proof that the airline lost your bags, please?
Are those the cars in the evolution order, like going vertically? Cute.
Yes, all 150. The original. It's my favorite thing.
Do you have a holographic Charizard there too?
Yes, he is holographic, but he's not first edition. I just found on eBay someone had all the cards. I just wanted the piece, like the big framed piece.
Do you know my story about my holographic Charizard? So in 6th grade, I am playing Pokemon. I'm my mom is buying me Pokemon decks. I build my little thing.
And Madonna lost it.
I know. I got a holographic Charizard, but I didn't know the value of it, and I traded it for like a regular like Bell, the yellow thing,
Bellsprout.
Bellsprout. I was like, oh, I want a grass one, and I traded my first edition holographic Charizard in the 6th grade. Had no idea. This shit's worth like $400,000 today.
And you've not made it, and that's why. You're living in under a bridge.
I know. Which I just gotta. Anyway, I'll tell you about that later.
Okay.
Yeah. Talk about what?
Obviously, I can't say it, nigga. That's why I said I'll tell y'all later.
Monet loves to bring up some podcast you can talk. That's Monet's favorite thing to do.
I get excited and I'm gonna say it. And I'm like, oh wait, I can't say that. Also, is that Jacob on your thing, Nick? Is that a painting of Jacob?
No, it's a painting of me. That Matteo did of me, and then a painting of Matteo next to it that I did of him.
Wait, I don't
you
see
bring them up
Nick,
and
show us.
We can't see them.
You have to bring them close so we can see them. Nick, go get them. Bring them up so we can see them.
Okay,
Nick, go get them.
Hold on.
Can you yell at me one more time?
Now you're moving like molasses. Now, those of you who are just listening, go over to the YouTube or the Patreon to see. So this is the one.
We had 20 minutes. We had 20 minutes to do it. Okay, so that's my painting of Nick in 20 minutes.
And I want you two to tell me who looks like who more.
Okay, I will say Nick's does look. Matteo, Nick's looks like you. Yours is good. I wouldn't say it looks like Nick though.
Wow, that's your queen.
It's like that
it actually
Princess
does look
Diary
like
scene.
Nick.
It's like the Princess Diary scene where it's like.
Nick looks nice in the painting.
Yeah, Nick looks beautiful in the painting.
I said friendly. I was thinking friendly.
I'm just easy to paint because I look like a Nintendo character.
Nick looks friendly in the painting. In the real life,
you also gave him such like a sharp jaw.
I mean, I can't say this looks like Matteo though.
Yeah.
But I will say you did get Matteo's hair.
The hair,
shockingly,
the hair.
The little up into the one side little moment.
She's gone. I got rid of it.
Why'd you cut it? You did all that work. You cut it all off.
You should auction them off. You guys should auction off the paintings, or at least frame them. I would say if you're gonna have art in your house, you got to frame it. In my opinion,
Nick can figure it out.
Like hanging painting on the wall without being in the frame is like we got to come on. We got to go down to Michael's, grab a frame, right?
I want to say, so I commented on from y'all's podcast. I commented on that thing about the fucking beaches because I agree. I have never agreed with Nick more. People in fucking the Midwest, y'all swear those are beaches, and baby, it's not a fucking beach. It is a nice lake. It is a nice lake. It's not a beach.
Okay, question, Monet. A lake, a sea, an ocean, and a beach are all very different things.
Yeah.
So just because Lake Michigan, which is the size of some seas, is not on the ocean, doesn't mean it doesn't have beaches. The beaches might not be as nice as Naples, Florida, or the Caribbean or Hawaii, but it's still a beach.
First of all, do not ever mention Florida before anything nice. Do not ever mention anything nice in Florida, please.
So let's just talk about a strip of land covered with sand, shingle, or small stones at the edge of a body of water.
Especially by the ocean between high and low.
No, it says especially by the sea.
Mine says ocean.
Between high and lower marks. What I'm reading says especially by the sea. Now, bear in mind, when something says especially, that does not mean exclusively. Especially does not mean only.
What does that look like to you, Monet?
Looks like a beach.
What does that look like, Monet?
That looks like a beach.
Well, that's the Indiana Dunes. That's on Lake Michigan in Indiana.
We need a different word for lake beaches than ocean and sea beaches.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to pull that up with Oxford Dictionary, because Oxford Dictionary seems to think that those really qualify as beaches.
I'm going to write to them. I'm going to write a letter.
Do you think maybe you two are like beach elitist? Maybe.
Maybe. I think it's because I take personal offense because I am someone who grew up on an island surrounded by beaches.
Same.
So offense is crazy. I'm sorry. Offense is crazy.
Monet, which island?
Monet and I both are born and raised islanders, so we really we feel deeper connections to the water and the sand.
Yeah.
Monet's referring to the Brooklyn Island, St. Lucia Island, the Atlanta Island, Which island?
Monet changes where she grew up every 10 seconds based on what story she
That
wants
is
to tell.
not true. That
the
is not
neighborhood
true.
Monet grew up in changes. Monet grew up everywhere from Bensonhurst to Flatbush to
That is not true. I
Canarsie.
never have
Monet
said
said
that.
she grew up in East New York, Bed-Stuy. She will move based on the story she wants to tell. She's grew up in Atlanta. She grew up in St. Lucia. She grew up in London.
Monet is Annie.
Literally, based on the story she's trying to tell. On any particular week, Monet will
I am
change where she
adopted,
grew up.
He's a
Mateo,
person of the world,
that hurt
okay?
one. Mateo, that one cut me deep because I am adopted, and I took personal offense to that. What you just said, my feelings. Are
Well,
hurt.
Bob looks a little bit like Daddy Warbucks right now, so you might feel more comfortable.
Welcome to the podcast.
Faggoty ass Daddy Warbucks.
Welcome to the podcast where Monet pretends to be offended by everything you say. That's part of the whole process of doing this podcast.
So,
Mateo.
okay,
You'll
I have a
get
question.
used to it.
How did y'all decide to do your pod together? Like, why?
Well, we did a video together on my YouTube channel of cooking, and I thought it might be fun to... Actually, the first thing we did was we went to the Olive Garden together because I thought it would be a funny video, go to the Olive Garden, and that video exploded, and so did the dishes around us. And then we did a couple other videos, like cooking videos together, and it was just us screaming at each other, and we thought, because Nick calls me at least 8 times a day, so I'm like, we might as well just record this. But we were like, we don't have time to do like an hour and a half, blah, blah. Let's just do a 15-minute podcast, one topic, roll them out per month, and just move it along.
Gag.
Nick, did we go to Olive Garden for your birthday? Where did you and I go?
Yes, we did.
30th. Yep.
But it was just me and you, right?
No, we were
my
all there.
30th,
No, where did we go
weren't
that one
there.
time? It was you and me. Was it Buffalo Wild Wings? There was somewhere you and I went.
No, you and I went to Ruby Tuesdays.
That's what it was. Went to Ruby Tuesday, which, by the
And
way,
you dragged me there. I don't like Ruby
No, there was
Tuesdays, but
somewhere
I
that-
made all of them go to Olive Garden for my 30th.
Yeah.
no, I think you wanted to go to
During-
Buffalo Wild, but there was some place that
During
you and I-
COVID, right?
Yeah.
There was some place way
I
before
remember.
COVID that
Yeah,
you and
it
I
was.
went, and where you kept being like, I literally can't eat another bite. That was Olive Garden.
Oh, no,
wasn't
it was the second year of COVID we went to Olive Garden. My first year of COVID, my birthday is March 15th, so COVID happened that day. And when we finally were able to hang out at Bob's, Bob got McDonald's catering.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah,
We got
but-
McDonald's catering.
Where do we have Domino's? Wasn't Domino's?
It was McDonald's.
No, we got pizza for me from Otto's, I think.
Got it. But no, Nick, where was that place where you and I went and you kept being like, I literally can't have another bite. And maybe it wasn't your birthday. Maybe it was just a random day where we went to go eat some food somewhere. And I feel like it was Olive Garden. I feel like I've been to Olive Garden with you.
I mean, maybe. I take a lot of people there. It's a hot
Yeah,
spot.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't your birthday. But I remember Nick was like literally gorging himself on Olive. So when Nick says he loves Olive Garden, guys, it's not a bit. It is not a bit. He loves Olive Garden. For
It's the
real.
place to be.
Nick's love for Olive Garden is only rivaled by Mateo's love for fucking Ribalta. Bitch, if I never hear Mateo say the word Ribalta ever again, I think I will die a happy person.
I tried taking Bob there once, and Bob was like, it's just not Domino's.
It's just not. I was like, it's not bad. I had to be. I've been with you several times because I felt last time I went was me, you, Nicole Byer, and Nick.
And Naomi Smalls, she goes all the time now.
Yeah, I've been with Naomi too. Yeah, I've been with you, me, and Naomi. I do like Ribalta though. It you know what? Also, there's never like a crazy line out the door. The staff is very, very friendly. The food is really good. So I actually do like Ribalta, but just not for pizza. I prefer the pasta there.
Yeah, well, now we have a new place for pasta called Abolishing in Chelsea Market, which is really good.
Chelsea
Dang,
Market,
Ribalta
okay.
sounds
Chelsy
good.
Market slaps. I went there recently with a friend, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's so many little options and things." There's this place that serves a fierce bibimbap, and that shit is fucking good. I fuck that
Why
shit.
is
what?
there no
Bibimbap.
I think it's Bibimbap, isn't it? Or is it?
That was
Bibimbap?
Selena's #1 hit song.
Is it Bibimbap or Bibimbap? What is it?
What cuisine is that?
It's Korean.
I think it's
Korean.
why is there not a
Selena's
drag queen in
number
Chelsea
one
Market?
hit is
The fact
nasty
there's not a
work.
drag queen in Chelsea Market is kind of crazy.
The fact that it's not a drag queen, what, Bob?
Name Chelsea Market is kind of crazy.
Well, there's Chelsea Piers.
That's
Yes,
not
Nick.
Chelsea
Is
Market.
that the one lady? Wait, what did Lady Bunny say that one time? She was like, I won't say her name, but she fancies herself the mother of a house that foreclosed.
Who is she talking about?
I don't remember.
She said it's our Midwestern peer queen.
Yeah,
that was-
I don't
that was-
remember. I
no, that
still don't know
wasn't
who she's talking about. That shit is such a funny podcast. Okay, and then I was telling Bob, I want to go see. I wanted to surprise. Well, shit, I just ruined the surprise now. I took an edible earlier. Oh, fuck.
Well, this you have to work with. You ever your coworkers high at work? Anyone else? Just me?
Yeah.
I'm not high.
You just
every
told us that
episode.
marijuana is affecting the way you do your job. You just admitted to everyone that marijuana is affecting the way you're doing your job. You're like, I'm sorry, I took an edible earlier.
Oh, in Chicago, Nick, when we're in Chicago. That would be fucking fierce if you guys came to Chicago.
Well, we're
What's
not
the date
coming
again?
now.
What's the date again?
August
August
17th,
17th.
Talia Hall.
We ain't coming now.
I have. Wait, do I have a show that day?
You have what? Make up something quick.
Yeah, it looks like you're doing Charlotte Pride.
Yeah, I'm going
We'll
to Charlotte
cancel.
Pride, yeah.
Yeah, cancel to come do a live podcast in Chicago where you're not getting paid.
Say Madonna lost your luggage on the way there, so you had to.
Well, I am
Kick it
proud.
to
I am
Chicago.
very proud that Nick is out in these streets doing these open mics and doing stand up. And Nick made it into the Boomerang of one of them very recently, which is a big deal because last time Nick got excluded from the Boomerang. They gave everyone a Boomerang. They gave all the new comics a Boomerang except Nick for some reason.
What does that mean? Can y'all? I don't know what that means.
So
Nick?
at the open mic, they have they do on everyone who went up, they put it on their Instagram, but you do a boomerang, right? So it's like this, and then you tag them because you don't want to put their jokes online. And all 20 people at the open mic got on the boomerang for that open mic, except for Nick Smith.
It was like Amanda and Tracy and Greg, fuck this faggot, and Carl and Brandon and Smith from
Literally.
But then
I'm
I saw
like,
Nick
Nick,
posted his Boomerang, so Nick
I
made
was
it.
like, I was like, Nick, how's the open mics going? Well, I was called last. I need to be better at talking to people. I said, well, I don't know. A 6'4" man in a pussy blouse in the back of the room with his purse on his lap, gagging and cackling at all the bad comics isn't necessarily the warmest person to approach.
Well, Nick told me that a girl. Nick, can you tell us about the girl who you went up to and told her she was really good?
Well, this has happened twice, but one girl I went up and I was like, I'm putting myself out there. I'm going to talk to people. So I go up and I was like, oh, and I had gone already and she had gone already. So I went up and I was like, oh, you were really great. She was like, thanks. I like your bag.
She dragged it. But I will say, Nick, you are very funny. And, you know, stand-up comedy is certainly a craft to work on. But I think you really got the bones of a great comic. In
my goal is
He
to try
has no
to put
muscle,
myself
just
out
bones.
there and make friends that actually do stand up and are good at it. So that's my goal this year.
Damn.
Okay.
And Nick, I got to be honest. I think making friends might be harder for you than breaking the Da Vinci Code. Nick's like, well, I don't like her outfit. She's shit, and I think she's a horrible person. You know, the other day after my show at the Comedy Store, this lady walked up to me and just straight up was like, "You have Asperger's." I was like, I'm sorry. She's like, well, I have Asperger's. I was like, well. And she goes, and your behavior
And she
is
pulled
very...
Burger King from her back pocket.
She's like, your behavior is very Asperger's. I was, Nick, see, and this is why she liked your bag. This is why she said, I like your bag. These are the high quality bits you're offering.
We were talking about when we were all in Atlanta and how we when we went down to be with Bob.
I have to write. And
we went out the first night. Well, we all got there that day. We met up. Peppermint was supposed to be a surprise. But Peppermint would just not let me help her surprise Bob. Like she was like calling Jacob and calling texting. I was like, Peppermint, don't do anything. We are gonna help you figure out how to get to the place. And then so she ruined the surprise because Bob ended up figuring out she was there, which was annoying. We all go out there.
I think Nick ruined it. I think Nick was like, well, I don't know why Pep's here. And I was like, what? Pep's here? I was like, I was like, is Pep coming? He goes, no, he said, well, I think Pep's flight's getting in late or something. I said, oh, is Pep coming?
No one told me it was a surprise. How was I to know?
What did you say, Jacob?
Somebody texted me, maybe it was Nick. Nick was like, we just landed, we're at the airport, like Pep is getting her stuff together. And I was like, oh, Pep's here, that's fun. And like,
and I was like, Nick, is Pep's coming? He goes, I don't know. I was like, you just said she's here. I just say things sometimes. You know me. And I'm like, Nick, it sounds like Peppermint's here. I guess she didn't. And then I said, oh, Nick, was this supposed to be a surprise? He goes, Please stop asking me.
So then we all go out. First of all, our all over 30 behind. Some of us in our 40s. We stumble into this club was it in Columbus? Where was it, Bob?
We're in Atlanta.
No, but I don't know. Not Columbus. Clayton. Was it? Where do you live again? Where's your family at?
Clayton
Clayton
County.
County. We were not in Clayton County.
It wasn't Clayton County. Okay. Well, it's just like it's like this lowly gay bar with everyone.
Lowly. Jesus.
The medium.
Lowly gay bar is crazy. That was a hopping spot.
It was girl hopping.
Lowly gay.
Yeah, okay.
She
I
wears one crown, and now every bar is a lowly. You used to work at the lowly gay bars.
First of all, I
Remember
said
that?
We were in our 40s, and you just proved who it was. Girl, the club was hopping with your old ass. Anyway, so then we go.
Just remember, you used to work in those lowly gay bars, honey.
And the average age there outside of us had to have been like 22. I never felt older than when all of us walked into this gay bar and all of these. Nick.
Monet, you just said in an episode I just watched that you're Gen Z, so those are apparently your peers.
Yeah, so
what are you talking
Monet?
about?
So yeah,
I'm talking about
clear
y'all,
this bitch.
for my friends.
No, you said I never felt more. You didn't say y'all. You said I never felt more. Oh, rewind the tapes.
What I am on the inside versus what I feel is two different things. You know what I mean? How I feel and what I am are two different experiences. So anyway, so we do that club, and we're out very late. We wake up early the next morning. We go to the funeral.
Well, some of us woke up early.
Well, yeah. We'll talk about that.
Wait, what did I miss?
What do you miss? Bitch, who missed? Missing is the operative word.
Oh, you mean at the service?
Yes.
Oh, well, she's always, that's her thing. It's part of her charm.
And then we wake up early, we go to the funeral, and we go to the repast, we're at Bob's house the whole day, then we get back to the hotel that night.
Which, wait, real quick, can I just say all of our outfits? Because we were all going to a different party. So I looked like a guinea from New Jersey who was like working security at like a barbecue. And Nick was dressed like B. Arthur from season 4 in The Golden Girls.
Yeah,
Literally could have said, I look like the mother of a solid gold dancer.
Yes. Nick looked like the gay guy who was in the first episode of Golden Girls, who vanished and disappeared and never came back again.
Monet was like, I'm going to wear pants with a belt, but his butt is so big from the side, he looks like Donald Duck walking into the funeral home. Just Jacob was going to the Matrix.
Monet dressed so plain, which I was gagged. I was like, why? Because normally Monet was doing some crazy stuff. Monet looked like she was dropping us off in the Uber. Monet had on like a black button-up shirt, some black pants.
Like I was like, I don't know. I don't want to like I don't want to look crazy at your mom's funeral, Bob. I was like, I need to like not look insane.
So we looked crazy?
No.
Nick, you looked crazy.
And then Matteo just had a black shirt with some white sneakers. I'm like, what is going on?
Well, because my pants, I lost my pants, DM.
Pep wore a cape.
Pep had a cape. Pep had a full cape.
And a cat suit.
I was wearing.
Pep was doing a reveal for Drag Race finale at your mother's funeral.
I had on
and Mitch was still DJing at the Eagle.
He was still DJing for Pep in the hotel room.
Bob looked like a very, very gay pimp from like a Spike Lee joint. You look very good though.
I was wearing a black sequin suit, which is my mom wore a black sequin dress to her mother's funeral, so I honored her in that way. But it was honestly it was definitely a wild day. And then my family got together at the repast and sang karaoke. And then you all met my cousins and my uncles and my aunts, and you realize that I am basically every person in my family. Just we're all just wearing in a slightly different font, literally.
Yes, and y'all recreated.
There's also all of us trying to play basketball together.
Well, Nick was good. Nick was like,
yeah, I'm athletic.
Nick's taller than the basketball hoop. It's not fair.
Like
Matteo, you couldn't even hold the basketball or dribble. Why don't you exit the conversation?
Some of us shorter people, me, Mitch, and Jacob, can't reach even the basketball.
Okay, first of all, Muggsy Bogues is a very short basketball. Muggsy Bogues is like 5-something.
Yeah, Allen Iverson, short, and he was a basketball player.
Yeah.
In the National Basketball League. Heard of it?
He was short?
I think he was like 6 feet, but comparatively to like
Nick, how do you know Allen Iverson? I did not expect you to know that.
Nick, it's not the NBL, it's the NBA.
Because he's from Pennsylvania. Allen Iverson is a Pennsylvanian.
Did you say National Basketball League?
I'm screaming.
That's crazy.
And then so we all did that the whole day.
He's like, it's not the National Basketball Group. The National Basketball Friends.
And then so this is like at 5 o'clock at that afternoon. We're all like, okay, we're gonna go back and like rest up and figure out what the plans are later.
Yeah, right.
So we all go back, and the plan was to possibly go out. And then at like 7, 8 o'clock, everyone's like trying to figure out what's going on. And I'm like, you know what? I've like been like out of it for like the past 2 days. I need to like stay in my hotel because I needed to write because I have to.
First of all, what Monet's not adding is that we all
Monet turned into Anne Frank all of a sudden. It was just journaling in her hotel room while we're all going out.
Like we had to write. Monet's acting like we didn't all agree that we were going. Like we all had agreed to go out.
I just want to say I don't like Nick Smith. I've never liked Nick Smith. I don't
right
like
in the middle of it.
From Nick Smith on this podcast.
Right in the middle of it, Monet act like she had to finish the last chapter of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. She was like, I have to. When motivation strikes, you must write.
I had to write. And then so I'm like saying I had to write.
I think I'm staying in, guys. I have to write my verse for me and Sathira's song and do translations from my arias.
I do.
I have to write.
And how much of that did you do, Monet?
I did it. I accomplished. I wrote the entire. I translated my aria and I wrote the verse I needed for
that takes 7
Monet,
seconds.
you're stuttering. It sounds like you're lying.
Google translates for you, Monet.
You're doing a lot of
Nick.
You're doing a lot of nervous. You're doing a lot of nervous talking, Monet.
I am not a shady. Nick is doing literally. A teacher would gather Nick if you did that. Just go on Google and translate. No, actually translate my song so I know what the fuck I'm saying.
Monet, and there's no professor to check your work, and that's why you did what you did. Yeah. Come clean and be honest about it.
And Monet, what language was the aria in?
Italian.
So you didn't want to hang out with the one fluent in Italian to translate for you to make sure it was done properly?
So at the club, I was like, Matteo, what in flagelico
La ci darem la mano. Let's parliamo.
Yeah, he would.
Wait, how were you translating it?
Huh?
Yeah,
Google.
were you translating? Google. What did you translate with?
IPA source. So you write the IPA and then you also write the translation of what the word is.
No, how did you get the translation?
IPA source.
I don't know what that is.
What is IPA source?
IPA source is like a source for singers. Nick acted like Brandon like you don't know what IPA source is.
No, I know what IPA is, but IPA is how you say the word.
IPA source is a website you go to, you put in your aria, and you put in the words, and it translates. And it does the
IPA source.
How is it different than Google Translate?
What?
Is it a part of the NBL?
IPA gives you the International Phonetic Alphabet. IPA is different than the alphabet. It's the International Phonetic Alphabet that shows you.
You went through all that trouble, or you could have gotten dinner with me, and I could have just told you what it meant.
We're not going to be doing that at dinner. We're going to at dinner. I'm going to bring my textbook and be doing it there.
Nick and I Nick and I had a steak. We sat there at the hotel, had a steak, enjoyed ourselves, had a cup of coffee, and then texted everybody that we were going to go out to the Eagle. And then Monet's like, "Sorry, I'm with the monks studying ancient Latin, and I can't make it out tonight."
Monet's letter goes, "I'm sorry to inform you all that I will not be able to be joining you on your voyage this evening."
Wait, Bob, ready? Okay, I'll be Monet. Ready? Okay, ask me what I'm doing.
Monet, what are you doing?
I know it's difficult for you to understand, but you see, me in this Hyatt, I have to reach deep within my soul to understand the lyrics that which I speak and sing, for singing is not merely a means of expression, but also a feeling. So thank you for your offer. Thank you for your time. But I will be here typing away on IPA.
But Matteo, you used to be my favorite person. Now I do not like you.
I'm so glad that you found the text, Jay. Because when I kept saying when they said I have to write, when I didn't say I have to write. When they literally said the words I have to, I have to write is my new favorite Monet quote. God, you don't get it. When the artistry calls to you, you must answer.
Well, as much as I would enjoy a night out at the Eagle, I do find myself clinging to the sounds of the wind, for it reminds me of the aria that I'm singing now.
No.
Perhaps my neighbors will be inspired by my singing and translations, and they will also bring good into this world.
Y'all are
But
so
have
shady.
fun.
Y'all are so
I will
shady.
say that I feel like that night ended up being
No, Bob, Bob, he goes, have fun at Uccello. I'm so sorry. The Eagle. I'm translating now.
Y'all are so...
Oh, IPA sauce. You're so clever and witty.
And y'all didn't even, and then y'all didn't end up staying out that late. Y'all, Bob said y'all
Yes,
went to...
we did.
That's
We
what
went
Bob
to
said.
3 bars, and then we went
We
to a
just ended
diner,
up at a
as we
diner.
always do.
Yeah, it was a very New York City. It was a very New York City evening. We went to we were bar hopping. Did Ocean Kelly come with us that night? No.
No.
No, it was
You,
not.
me, Rob, Nick,
Rob.
Taylor
Taylor,
and Jacob.
and Jacob.
Damn.
And we bar hopped. It was quite fun. I really enjoyed myself that night. And then we had a lovely evening at the diner. That ended up being quite wonderful.
Right.
Honestly, I think it was better that Monet wasn't there, to be honest.
I'm happy. You see, you had a better time. I wasn't there.
And you never know. Actually, well, who
I
knows
would have
though?
liked you there, Monet.
Thank you, Nick. Next time.
I
you can go
actually
back
really
to-
wanted. I
I
wanted you to
would've
come
liked-
too, Monet. I was sad.
Monet, if you could do it all over again, would you translate or would you join us?
Well, I simply can't pretend that if I.
I had to write.
Two
Like,
roads diverge in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler long. I stood and looked down one to where it bent in the undergrowth.
oh my God, Robert Frost. That's a Frostiana. Hey everyone! If you know me, you know how much I love going to concerts and events, and there's nothing quite like the energy of a live show in the theater or the stadium. One of my favorite memories is from a few years ago when I saw SZA perform live. This year, I'm looking forward to making even more amazing memories, and I found the perfect way to get my tickets through Game Time.
Now, Game Time makes getting tickets for concerts and events faster and easier, even if you don't buy tickets right away. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to showtime. Did you hear that? Which is perfect for those last-minute plans. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying concert tickets.
I was browsing through the Game Time app recently, checking out some upcoming concerts and events, and I was blown away by how user-friendly it is. There's so many high-profile events coming up that I'm excited about. For instance, I found great deals on tickets for the new Busta Rhymes Missy Elliott Ciara experience. Yes, Ciara. That's how she pronounced her name. Ciara, not Ciara. And the prices are unbeatable, y'all.
You simply open the app, browse through the events, pick the one you want to attend, and the best part, the deals you find are amazing, especially the last minute ones. I saw a flash deal for Chapel Roan that saved me a ton, baby. I was up in the Pink Pony Club.
One of my favorite features for the Game Time app is the seat views. You can get a panoramic view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you get there. Plus, with their lowest price guarantee, you can be sure you're getting the best deal possible.
So why not take the guesswork out of buying concert tickets with Game Time? Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code RIVALRY for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code RIVALRY, because obviously we need to spell it, mostly for us, for $20 off. Download Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. You know, when I was a kid, I thought I had to have a favorite poet. And I used to always say my favorite poet is Robert Frost, but I know like 2 Robert Frost poems. But as a kid, I was like, my favorite poet is Robert Frost. Wasn't he the poet laureate? Did I make that up?
Probably.
I feel like Robert Frost was.
They all have been poet laureate at this point.
Who is the current poet? I think making a hip hop artist the poet laureate.
Amanda Gorman.
I think she
Amanda
was
Gorman
the
is- That
one
was
a
a
while
long time
ago.
ago.
I think there's a new one every year.
I feel like making a
Why did I
hip hop
think he was
artist the
British?
poet laureate would be
He's
such
American.
a great move for America, and I'm just going to advocate for that right now.
You don't think it should be Hillary Duff?
That has happened before.
Yeah.
A rap has been a poet laureate.
Laureate's name is Ada Limon.
Wait, Jacob and Monet, who's one that goes, yeah, yeah, yeah?
Hillary
Oh,
Duff.
ready? La 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 la. La 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 la. Ah! Yeah.
Who is that? What is that? What are y'all doing?
Hillary Duff, raise your voice.
So
Oh.
I did not grow up watching Disney movies at all, but I will say, if you did not grow up watching Disney shows or Disney movies, I mean, I watched it, but not the made-for-TV Disney movies. When you go back and watch them, they are unhinged. You were like, how did these pass a quality control? How did that scene get past? It had to be seen by so many eyes, and they kept going. Yeah, no notes. And somehow it made it to our TV
No.
screen.
They said, every note from 4 different singers.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, Smart House is one that's kind of unhinged, but that one
Halloween Town is the best one.
Halloween Town are so good. They're so good. I mean, Nickelodeon kids, y'all were too busy y'all couldn't make movies. Y'all were fucking fondling the kids over there. That's what the problem was. All y'all Nickelodeon girls, y'all were too busy fucking sucking toes and shit. Y'all were. And Disney was not fucking with that. Disney has.
You want to distance yourself from Nick's comments? This is crazy.
I said I can't make an off-colored Anne Frank joke, but we.
There's a whole document
Explain to me
about
what's
it.
an on-color Anne Frank joke, Nick. Psycho.
Describe an on-color, above the board, good old-fashioned Anne Frank joke. I would love. Nick, please
I
don't.
don't see color, so.
Oh my
So
god!
I was afraid that Nick was going to actually try. That was Nick. Let me try it now. If I'm your friend, you cannot get canceled. Don't be in these streets. Actually, half my friends.
If I'm gonna be canceled, it's because of you.
Girl,
That's Matteo. That's Matteo.
Just do not make that statement because these children will be in these comments listing all your friends that got you canceled.
Starting with you.
I honestly do it because it would save me a lot of time. Nick is insufferable.
I was getting my mail today, and I was really annoyed at how I get so much junk mail. Something that I think Bob thinks we should abolish libraries. I think we need to abolish junk mail. Do you know how many trees are wasted?
Monet, I say the same thing. I say the same exact thing. I say the same thing.
It's too much.
Even movies like, remember Fern Gully when we were little?
I don't watch Fern Gully.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, Fern Gully was a movie about an animated film about fairies saving the forest and trying to teach us not. Yeah, and like trying not to teach us like to not tear down rainforests. And like, how many rainforests did they tear down just to animate that movie?
Damn, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
That
mail is a
wild.
mess. Like everyone needs to go digital, and if you can't, for whatever reason, then you just don't get mail. Like mail should be all digital. Like there's no reason paper should ever come to you in the mail ever.
Well, I will say, whenever I get a check in the mail, it stresses me out. I'm like, can this be any direct deposit? Like, I don't want an actual physical check in the mail. That stresses me out to the max.
I don't like mail, yeah. Even when I get mail from like SAG, for example, I'm like, do I have to open it? What does this mean? I don't understand. Like, what are we saying?
Yeah, to give me a
Well,
check
how are
for
we gonna-
$27.46, it's like 8 sheets of paper. I'm like, why?
Mo, if you're elected as a comptroller, how are you going to fix the mail crisis?
I'm going to make every company from A to Z, you have to make sure that all of your mail is digital. From A to Z.
No, I'm gonna create something they did in 1999. AOL email.
I still use my AOL email.
It's been 26 some years, and they're still like, we have to send paper.
Like for no reason. It's so stupid. And
Yeah,
like
we can sign things digitally.
Yeah.
Everything can be done digitally now.
oh my God, did I just crack the code?
You know, I feel like we should be able to. I'm sure there's a problem with this, but at some point we got to figure out a way that we can vote from our phones. I feel like we should be able to vote from our phones.
Like American Idol.
They should also give us the day off of work or do it on a weekend.
Or give it a week. Just go Monday through Friday. Why do we have to vote in one day? Why does everyone in the country have
There
to
is
vote?
early voting.
Early voting is
I
a
know
thing.
there's early voting, but I'm just saying in general, they should make all of it so much
But also,
easier.
you can vote from home. You just have to send in early ballots. If people don't want to do the work to send it, like you can vote from home. You don't have to
We
leave
all
your
did
house.
early ballots. We all did early ballots in
Right.
2020.
Right. So you
2020.
can vote from home. You can. Everyone has the ability to vote from home.
I know, but I'm saying is it seems like when they make it seem like it's election day, this is the day everyone has to go to elections, and then the polling sites aren't as many. There aren't as numerous polling sites in early elections, early voting. But
well, it should be considered a national holiday, so work is closed that day, so people can actually go if they're going to put the emphasis on that.
Y'all, we don't even have a country where we can all agree on the elections. You think we gonna start voting from our phones? Everyone doesn't even accept what the elections are.
You know, I don't want to vote from phones because we saw they let Taylor Hicks win over Catherine McPhee, so maybe I don't trust the phone voting system.
Taylor Hicks did a really great rendition of what's that Queen song he sang? Oh, I can't remember. Taylor Hicks did a really good rendition of that. Whatever happened to Taylor Hicks?
Stop me now.
No, it was like fuck, what was that? Anyway, I can't remember. Taylor Hicks did a really great rendition of this Queen song. I'll find it. Just give me a second.
By the way, I know that we're older now because I mentioned Clay Aiken just in passing on stage, and everyone was staring at me, and I looked at these girls and go, "Do you guys know who Clay Aiken is?" They're like,
tenderness.
They're like, "We don't know who Clay Aiken is."
Yeah,
I was like, so you don't know Clay Aiken? And I'm like, you don't know Clay Aiken and Ruben Studdard? They're like,
they don't.
No.
Yeah, they don't. I have a Ruben Studdard reference I'm making. I think people are always like, who?
The song is called "Crazy Little Thing Called Love." Crazy little thing called love. There goes my baby.
Well, we know who voted for Taylor Hicks.
I did not vote. You know, to be honest, I fell off of American Idol after Ruben Studdard season, and also I misspoke.
The second season.
Yeah. I misspoke. I want to say right now, I misspoke. A couple episodes ago, I said that Todrick Hall was on the same season of American Idol with Todrick Hall was.
Speaking of cancel friends,
he was in The Color Purple with Fantasia when he went to go do American Idol.
What did he do in Color Purple?
He was in the ensemble.
Did he get paid?
Oh my God. Probably, but who knows? Maybe that's where it all started.
This is why Lizzo comes after us. I thought I'm going to do a nice little podcast with my friend Nick and have fun. And then now Lizzo is after us.
Have you had any more beef with any other celebrities besides Nick and Lizzo? Has there been any other celebrities you fought with?
Just our entire fan base and the internet. They don't like any of my hot takes.
Do you have anyone else?
They don't like that I didn't know when World War II was.
Do you have anyone else in your sites that you want to get into a fight with?
Nick,
I
know now. In the moment, I didn't.
Did you do did you do well in school? Did you have good grades? Were you a good student?
I did, yeah.
I don't know when World War II was.
In the moment, no, and I've learned since.
Well,
you know what your Stonewall was?
Roughly how many years ago, Monet, was Pearl Harbor? Roughly
70.
I think it's 80, 82 or something. 80.
It was 1939.
Yeah.
I think it's 82 years ago. Maybe.
Okay.
I was just asking. But yeah, you seem defensive.
I just literally said,
Pearl Harbor was 1941.
So how many years ago?
So it was 80. It was 83 years ago.
Oh, I hate that. 82 was pretty close. What's another world event? What was
Nick? Do you know what year Stonewall was? The Stonewall riots.
19...
No, let Nick go first.
Nick. I did Nick Smith.
The
1800s.
The 80s. Nick, you think Judy Garland was alive in the 80s?
Girl.
Okay, I was going to say I
don't think Nick knows the correlation between Judy Garland and Stonewall. He doesn't know that.
I was going to say the 60s, but then I was like, okay, I'm going to get in trouble again if I go too old.
Nick, the 80s. Do you think Cyndi Lauper was at the Stonewall riots singing?
No, but I was going to say the 60s, but I didn't want to. I got in trouble for going too old before.
Wait, do you think that during the Stonewall riots, Madonna was performing at the fucking Paradise Garage in the same, a week earlier?
Nick thinks that Stonewall happened the same time they broke down the Berlin Wall.
You think the first Terminator movie,
Mr. Gorbachev?
You think Arnold Schwarzenegger was beginning his acting
What did you
career?
just say?
Right. What you just
I
call
can say it. I wouldn't have you say it.
I know you didn't.
Controversial
Nick,
opinion.
don't change the subject, Nick.
Give us
pictures of
one
Arnold
more, Jacob,
Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger was never hot. I don't know why we thought Arnold Schwarzenegger was hot.
No. Ugh.
He was not hot or sexy or cute. He would always look ugly.
Or a good actor.
Right, but it was just because he was a
He made
bodybuilder.
it.
He got so many. Like, what? I don't understand what.
Was he considered hot?
Yes. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What's another one, Jacob?
Nick, when was Juneteenth?
Girl.
18.
Okay.
Nick is sweating.
Come on, Nick. We
Nick's
went through this before.
Nick is like, is that different than January 6th?
No.
Is that when they stormed the Capitol on Juneteenth? They stormed the Capitol and released the black people from the.
Is
from
it
the catacomb?
1896? Am I making that up? It's earlier.
It's earlier, but like by like 30 years or 30-ish years. Not you don't know.
1865.
1865.
Nick, I'm so proud of you. Well, I did make Nick remember that the Emancipation Proclamation was 1864. I had to like drill that into Nick's head.
Well, it's because we were watching Color Purple,
and
which takes place in the 1920.
And he thought that
Well, it spans a couple. It starts in the late 1800s
Right.
and it goes to like the 1920s.
When you put someone on the spot,
Yes,
though, to
but
just
Bob,
whip out a date, it's
we were
hard.
at the scene where she's at the store and they're trying on clothes, and there was like a car outside.
No, it was the scene. It was the scene where Nettie is coming home, and then there was this dust kicking up. And Nick
No, that
like,
was two separed scenes, but yes, there was dust
The
kicking
dust
up, and
was
then
where
Nick goes,
"What is that?" And I go, "Sonic the Hedgehog." Nick. I said, "What do you think it is?" I said, "It's a car." They had cars. I said, "Nick, when do you think cars were invented? When?"
I'm not good with dates. Okay.
Wait, okay. In Nick's defense, you have to give me, Matteo, and Monet 1, 2, and then we'll move on to our little game.
No, I think we should do the game as a Patreon exclusive, and then we'll put clips.
Okay,
online.
so Jacob, give Matteo.
Okay.
Monet
When was the
one.
Korean War?
1950. No, sorry.
What?
No, Mateo
Jacob,
started answering it, so let's go for Mateo.
1953.
Yeah, it started in 1950. In 1950.
Word.
1950 to
Okay,
1953. Yeah.
All right, I see. I better work. Okay, go ahead, Bob.
Bob, when was World War One?
Oh, that's easy.
World War One, the Ferdinand thing.
Can
I
I
want to say.
Can I answer for Bob if you don't know it?
16.
No.
No,
No, babe.
Nobody say anything. Nobody say anything.
No.
Bob.
Say it.
That's to me.
Say it.
Well, World War One.
Roberta.
Say what you were going to say.
Bob of gag.
You were onto something.
Well, I was gonna say 16 something, but apparently I'm off by over a century.
Bob, are you making a joke? I thought you were joking.
No, when was World War One?
Yes,
World War
19,
One.
baby. 19.
Lizzo,
15.
Lizzo, wherever you are.
Yes,
Okay.
1915.
It was right after the Titanic. It was right after the Titanic.
The first one?
The first one, yes, girl. The first two wars like 40 years apart.
Oh wow, that's so close. That's too close.
16. Bob,
Can I go on a limb and say? Can I go on a limb and say 40 years apart is too close?
I want to say up to 16.
Bob, what year was America founded in?
We're not talking about the Salem witch trials in the 1600s, girl. We're talking about World War One.
The U.S. was the Declaration of Independence was signed in 1776, and you think World War One was before that?
Maybe. I mean, apparently not.
When did Columbus sail the ocean blue?
Oh my
You
God.
just know that from the song, Nick. You just know that from the song. Because you said it in our pocket. Oh, Nick is ridiculous. Okay, so wow, Bob did not know when World War One was.
Robert, I've
I
got it.
didn't know. What's Monet's? Give Monet one.
Oh God.
Okay, I need to think of bloop bloop bloop. Let's do
Monet, when was the Vietnam War?
Monet. When was JFK assassinated?
Okay, Vietnam War was
good one.
1972 or 1971, something like that, and JFK was 1960s, 1960 something.
Do you want to guess an exact year?
1960.
That was too easy. When was,
1960.
you based it off how his wife was dressed.
Bob,
That's
I give
too
you
easy.
World War One.
One, bitch. What are you talking about? That's too easy.
I said what I said.
The only easier question was like, Bob, when
No,
is your birthday?
Monet's close. Wait,
I
Jacob,
said
was it
what I said. It was too
1964?
easy. I said what I said.
It was 63.
Yeah, that's what
okay.
I said. Bob, the only easier one would be if Jacob said, Bob, when is your birthday? Okay. World War One is a throwaway.
I said what I said.
Lizzo's gonna come after. And as I said, I'm Monet and Nick is Bob.
So Nick's the smart one?
Yeah.
Anyways, Matteo, we don't need to dignify that.
Nick's the one. You mean Nick's the one?
Why don't we
who's
just
holding this podcast
switch
up?
hosts,
Honestly,
please? Can I do a show with Monet,
You mean
please?
Nick's the one holding this podcast up by the seams? You mean Nick is doing the hard work? You mean Nick came up with the
I'm the
idea for the
glue.
podcast? You mean Nick is the reason why this whole boat is afloat? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, that's not what I mean at all.
And
Then I guess Nick's not the Bob then, honey.
Anyway,
Because if Nick didn't come up with the idea for the podcast, if Nick didn't launch this whole his motherfucking self, keeping this shit afloat on his own back.
I would say that,
Bob
Nick,
is.
you don't look like you're agreeing with Bob. You look like you're passing out on a boat.
No, it's me on the roller coaster.
When was the last time you all fainted?
Oh my
I've never
God.
fainted.
So I've never fainted before, but yesterday I was in New York and I went out to lunch and I was driving. It was so.
Monet, why don't you call us when you come to New York?
I was
It's my
literally there
thing.
for like 24. I was on set filming for something. I was literally there for 24
She was
hours.
there for 3 days.
I was
She there
not-
for
I
3
was
days.
not-
You know she's
Bob's
going to be there
lying.
next weekend.
I'm supposed to be there, but they just shifted the date, so I'm not going anymore.
For 3 days.
You know when she was there too that we didn't know
When?
is when she was singing that translation she worked so vividly on that night. And we never got to hear the actual translation
Your
because
two
we weren't
opera
invited.
friends- Your literal 2 opera friends who you were like, they wouldn't want to come to my little opera show. They wouldn't want to come see that.
At Lincoln Center.
One fluent in Italian. Thanks, Monet. Grazie, Monet.
That's your new podcast host, Matteo.
No,
There she
I've
is.
never
She'll be too
fainted.
busy writing. She'll be too busy writing to do the podcast.
I never fainted, but I was riding back. It was so hot in New York. It was like 95 degrees, and I was on the bike, on my city bike, and like I started to wobble, and I had to like pull over because I felt lightheaded, and then I had to just park my city bike and walk home. And when I tell y'all, I was sweating so much, I just went to my bedroom to the hotel, and I fell onto the bed, and I fell asleep. I woke up 6 hours later.
This is the most anticlimactic story.
I
that's
was
not
like a
a-
medical event.
Monday,
That's
one
not a
time I was
fainting
dizzy.
story. I didn't call my friends when I was blocks away from them
I was
and took a city bike to stroll around the city.
I was in Brooklyn.
When he said, one time I got dizzy. Ooh, that was crazy.
Guys, one time I stood up too fast and it was a little dizzy. Just a little.
The way that you told us, you were like, wait till I hear this. No, my last time.
Wait, no,
I remember-
Bob. You see, when I fainted, I didn't realize how.
Well, of course, my legs were swept from beneath me with the weight of
No,
the
say it in
burden-
Italian.
the burden
Because she
of
was translating.
translating.
Yeah, Bob. Allora, la primo momento quando.
My last time fainting was I was going to rehearse with this drag queen named Sable Cities for this number we were doing. This was years ago, and I've actually fainted twice in the exact same spot. I don't know what it is, but when you're riding the 7 trains into Queensboro Plaza, it's coming up from underground, and I just kind of get like dizzy. And the most embarrassing part is that some people, when they faint, you fart when you faint. Like as you go down, your body just like does its own thing. So I don't like when you faint, not everyone, but sometimes when you faint, you actually do not remember falling. You don't remember hitting the ground. You don't remember any impact. You just are
I'm
standing
just
up.
imagining Bob coming up on the 7 train just.
I mean, basically, it must have what happened. But I stand. I remember like standing, and I was like, "Ooh, I feel a little." And then the next thing you know, I'm just on the ground, and it smells like fart. That's literally what happened. And I was like, "I need help off this fucking."
And how
train.
long were you out?
Twice. I mean, we were still at Queensboro Plaza, so it must have been
6 weeks.
it must have been like about as long as you were in New York. No, it must have been about like 15 seconds or so. Nothing too long.
Damn.
And the last time I threw up was hanging out with Nick and Jacob on fucking New Year's.
Drank too much?
I don't remember the last time I've thrown up. I hate that feeling, but I don't remember the last time I never fainted, and I don't remember the last time I've thrown up.
Have you thrown up, Monet, lately?
Lately, no.
I mean, in the past like 10 years.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because some people just don't vomit. Some people just do not be in the streets vomiting at all for any reason, which is wild to me.
I mean, it's something that your body does when it's in distress. Maybe they've never been. Their body was like, I got to get this out of me.
Like, Nick, you never vomited recently as an adult?
Maybe like 5 or 6 years ago from food poisoning or something. Yeah.
Yeah, he only vomits now when he actually eats real food.
His body's like, what the
I
fuck is
fainted
this?
far more than I vomited.
Nick, you seem like a fainter. You seem like someone who would just
For sure.
and just like throw a hand on the head and just collapse under the weight of society. You seem like someone who faints a lot.
Nick, I don't want to be next to me. Peppermint, Nick, and Mitch are going to Six Flags this weekend, and I'm afraid Nick's gonna die.
I don't. Well, I guess you could consider it fainting. I black out on.
Wait, when are y'all going on Saturday?
Nick's like, well, I'm no longer conscious
Sunday.
and I black out. Yes, you're fainting.
Monet, come early, come.
Well, the first flight out gets me there at like 3, 4, or 4 o'clock. Yeah, it's too late.
We're leaving at like just come and take a red eye.
Girl, but Peppermint don't play. Peppermint, I'm doing an event Saturday night.
We're
leaving.
I cannot tell you.
You can still take
I was here the whole time.
Moni, you can still take a red eye because we're not leaving till 12 p.m. We're meeting at Mitch's. Well, we're meeting in like Hell's Kitchen.
No, I'm doing an event. Like I'm doing a Whoopi Goldberg has this thing coming out. I'm going to. I think it's going to be like.
Guys,
late.
she has to write. You don't understand.
Anyways,
Monet going on the roller coasters. All you hear is this. See that I was the one.
So y'all podcast comes out what? Like, do you have a set schedule? So okay, wait, I really want to know. Like, I don't. There are 15-minute episodes and they come out once a week. On what day?
Thursdays.
And the podcast only exists in 15-minute increments. You guys don't put out the longer cuts.
Only 15 minutes.
We set a timer, and Nick's job is the timer.
Work.
You know what you guys could do, which obviously no one asked me, and I probably shouldn't be giving advice, but at the end of the month, you can just put them all together and make, like, you can do like 15, 15, 15, because the Moth podcast.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Nick, we should do that.
They do this thing where
the
Moth podcast does this thing where they release really short stories, and at the end of the month, they just take all the stories you've already heard, and they just put them together in one long podcast, and it's actually really quite nice.
I'm gonna text Chris now and say that we should do that. That's a really good idea, Bob.
Write that down.
And that's why I'm the Bob of the podcast, honey.
And
that's the way it is.
That's the way it is.
All right, we're gonna go shift over to our Patreon, y'all, because we're gonna do a little newlyweds game. If y'all want to see which two co-hosts know each other better, go over to the Sibling Rivalry Patreon to see that why Bob and I, even though we get on each other's nerves, we're perfectly matched.
I love you,
Are
Carl.
we done with our episode?
Yes, we're an hour. We're not an hour 15. We're in 1 hour, baby.